Hi Aquarius, welcome to your fortnightly check-in with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Aqua, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to pop these to the side. And we're going to get into the different sectors of your life over the next 2 weeks. So they're not weeklies, but I'm hoping for those of you that are my ride or dies that are seriously missing them, I'm sorry that I disrupted your world. And I hope this goes a little way towards, giving you a little something so that you've got me in your life over the next fortnight. All right, so for your actions and results over the next fortnight, you got the High Priestess. Beautiful. You must, right? And you know me, I hate to tell anybody what to do, but you must trust your intuition. This next fortnight is going to be pivotal. There are going to be a lot of intuitive hits. There are going to be a lot of feelings coming up, and there's going to be a lot of you having to take things back to the basics. This is about stripping it all back, streamlining yourself, your processes, the things that you do or don't put your time, effort, and energy into. This is about you getting serious with it, Aquarius, right? Like, this is about you seriously showing up in a way. Now, obviously, as you know, I am a sun sign Aquarius, so yes, I'll be talking to myself as well, and some of my very best friends in the entire world. Then we've got the Six of Cups, right? So this is a long-held secret that is now being revealed, right? So this might be a deep desire or wish that you've held on to for a long time that you've never verbalized. This does suggest as well that you are delving into your past this fortnight in a way that allows you to truly cleanse your internal space. So this could be maybe you finally talk about your childhood with somebody. Maybe you're talking about an element of what you're feeling right now. Maybe you're sharing one of your biggest dreams, hopes, goals, desires, or wishes with people. And it's like, you know, just by the very act of kind of saying it outward might give you or bring you some kind of freedom or liberation, and it might strip away years worth of stuff, right? And then we have the Knight of Swords. So this is about you addressing some part of your personal history in terms of the results that you get. Right? This is you going after or pursuing something ruthlessly. And you're doing this in a way that, you know, I'm an Aquarius, right? I'm Aquarius sun. My sun is unaspected as well, like it's out there on its own, right? Not doing a great deal with, you know, there's aspects in and around it, but as it goes, my sun is literally unaspected, and I think that's one of the reasons I resonate so strongly with it. I've never really felt like I fit in anywhere, and I've never really felt a part of, and given that Aquarius is supposed to be the group, right, but it's also the alien of the zodiac, so we see that group sort of setting and we know we're a part of humanity and we love humanity and we want to be protectors of it, but to integrate ourselves into it, sometimes Aquarius people can really feel outside, right, of whatever the group or the group association is. And so the reason that's a premise, right? But my approach to things, and I can put my hand up and say this, my approach to things in life is quite aggressive. Not, like in my younger years, it might have been towards people. I have to own that. As I've aged and matured, it's definitely not that. But my mindset, like if something comes up and it needs to be dealt with, that Knight of Swords is me. Like I will bulldoze my way through whatever. And there are times where that approach is not going to cut it. All right, so there's a lot more nuance here. And so your actions this week, it's really about going right back to the start, to rewrite something on a very deep level. This could be a great week for a great fortnight for past life regression, for inner child work, some kind of therapy, cleansing or healing, maybe a psychic reading, potentially astrology, numerology, etc. All of the spiritual sciences, absolutely. That Knight of Swords suggests that the results that you have, or the results or the answers that you get, you're going to want to fight them. And because I know myself to be and have quite an aggressive sort of approach to things, certainly on a mental level, I know that that's in you, right? If you've got an Aquarius sun, if you've got an Aquarius moon, if you've got an Aquarius ascendant, this is a part of you as well, right? And so this fortnight, where you would usually use that sort of, right, I'm fucking going in, yeah, fucking, all right, that's not going to cut it. And the High Priestess, you can try to approach her head on, and she'll elude you every single time. That is her very nature. And this is why, if you've been with me long enough, you will have heard me say, the High Priestess does not communicate in words. She communicates in thoughts, impressions, feelings, oracular things of that kind of nature. It's the goosebumps up the back of your neck. It's the when you say something and you're like, why did I say that? And then you see it or you hear it somewhere else, or those very things that you've spoken on play out somewhere. That's the High Priestess. She's the intuition. She's the gut feeling, when you know it in the very depths of everything that you are, but you can't put it into words. She's the dream realm and the ethereal and all of that. And so what's driving you to really strip it all away and look deeper into yourself this week is something deeper. It is something more profound. Your intuition is going to be fire this week. But when you get the answers, your first instinct will be to rally against them, and you can't. This is one of those times, Aquarius, where you've asked for the truth, and this, you just got to accept it, right? Whatever the truth is that comes up, that is the truth, right? And given the sign that Aquarius is the sign of the truth, aside from Sagittarius and potentially Scorpio, but you catch my drift, right? So for your career and your communications, you've got the Nine of Cups. Look at that, the Nine of Cups with the High Priestess. That is some kind of conversation that leads to very powerful healing, right? So this could be a therapist, it could be a healer, a psychic healer, an energy worker of some sort. If you're ever going to get any of these kinds of services with me, this next fortnight could absolutely do it. Even if you want to do these kinds of things and you think, maybe Raf's not the person for me, that's cool. Do it with someone, because the very act of talking about your stuff over this fortnight can be so powerfully healing for you at a soul, psyche, spiritual kind of level. It's unreal. The other thing with that Nine of Cups as well, it's about truly finding contentment and happiness within the work that you do. Then you've got the Ten of Swords, right? So in order to access this healing, you are going to have to release or let something go. And then you've got the World card, right? Look at that, right? That's powerful. So this thing that I was saying earlier about Aquarius always feeling kind of separate to the group, by our very nature, certainly by our star sign DNA, we are the aliens of the zodiac, right? That's just it. It's part of who we are. This suggests that by letting go of a community and releasing some part of your history, your heritage, or your past, and how you've either seen yourself at, through, or with your work or your profession, or how you've seen yourself in your work, your academics, or your profession because of your past, you're releasing that this fortnight. All right, there's some powerful work to be done here, Aquarius. This is a fortnight of healing for sure. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is ultimately, the Ten of Swords, that can be a bust up. I don't think it's that though. I actually feel like this is you letting, the honeymoon period, when you start studying something new, and you've got like that first sort of if it's a year-long course, let's say, or longer, that first 3 months, you're like, oh yeah, this is me. This is my new thing. I'm so passionate about this. And that sort of honeymoon period of whatever you're learning, it wears off this week. this is where your hard work is actually going to begin. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could literally be the end of one set of duties and the beginning of another. So potentially there is a promotion coming in. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Or, so potentially, yes, right? Something that makes you happy, but you feel a little bit sad about it, the Ten of Swords, but it's ultimately good for your future. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is a wake-up moment. This is a moment where you realize I am going to have to, and this is already showing up for me personally. I'm not sure about the rest of you. Let me know in the comments. This is where you're having to really kind of say, okay, I have to switch all of this. I've got to change it all. I thought the changes that I'd made were enough, and apparently this is basically saying they're not. There's more to come. So here we go. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this could be where you are releasing one community for another. So there's an identity shift happening here for a lot of the Aquarians as well. For your love and relations, you've got the Three of Cups, reunions with the Hermit card, and the Judgment card. So for those of you that are single and looking and out here ready to mingle, you could be reconnecting with a person that is older than you, right? So reconnection, reunion, Three of Cups, older person, the Hermit card, and the Judgment card. How you reconnect with this person, where you reconnect with them, you may be very shocked about. Maybe you get the I miss you text. Maybe you get a reach out on social media platform. Because the Judgment card is a blast from the past. Now, there can be a lot of fun to be had. There could also be a lot of intensity to be had with someone that is older, wiser. Maybe they've got a little bit of salt and pepper about them. I love me some salt and pepper. Right? I do. I'm just going to call a spade, right? That's kind of my thing. So there could be that as well. And what you think, the Three of Cups, it doesn't have to be a reunion as well. Another way this could show up if you're single, it could just be that you meet this person in a really mundane place, with the Hermit card there. You're not really looking your best. You're not even looking for anything. You're just kind of you hit it off. You end up having a really awesome, very profound conversation about something that, maybe is not location sort of appropriate. So, you don't start discoursing about, or maybe you do. I mean, I know I have, I've had some really profound conversations with people in the most random of places. And this may very well be that. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this could be a fortnight where you and your significant other maybe you're spending some time apart so that you can figure out how to move beyond the situation that you're in currently. So, this could be that your partner or you are traveling for your work. Very possible. It could also be that you decide to put yourselves collectively in a timeout so that you can figure things out from here on in. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Eight of Cups. I mean, look at this, right? Very water heavy. The High Priestess, the Nine of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Eight of Cups, right? So that Eight of Cups, it's about getting control of your emotions, because that's what's leading your financial energy right now. And because we've had Saturn move into, I'm not doing astrology here, but Saturn's moved into the sign of Pisces, which if you're from your ascendant sign, is the true second house, but from any part of your Aquarian energies, this is the second house of money, finances, and resources. So this is you walking away from an old way of making money, or an old way of doing things, or old set of duties, responsibilities, etc. Then you've got the King of Wands, right? So the person that you're meeting or reconnecting with, or having these profound conversations and flirtations with, could potentially be a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Very possible. If that is the case, I would go with a Sagittarius. They're probably likely to be a Saggy or have that kind of energy. Then you've got, and in terms of this as well, this is going to see you putting yourself out there more. So you're potentially making more money going forward. But what you do in the next 2 months, the next 8 weeks, is going to be pivotal to how much more money you can make or bring in. And it's got a lot to do with your visibility. Then you've got the Lovers card as well. So this could be, maybe somebody gives you an opportunity or highlights something to you that you hadn't thought about before, and it could be a fire sign male. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, this triplet is really speaking to how much the energy of your mind and that sort of mental stuff is having an emotional, having a physical response. So when they say like it might be psychosomatic, this fortnight you're definitely going to feel that, right? Like, so you got to keep your mental energy, PMA, positive mental attitude. They had that on an advert years ago when I was in like primary school. It was like this thing a very long time ago here in the UK, and now it's like having this resurgence. So it's really interesting to see that a lot of coaches are talking about this and stuff now, when it was like on a kid's advert for washing powder for clothes, like years ago. I was like 6 or 7, maybe 8 at the time when that came out. So it's just really interesting to see that it's having this resurgence. And the last time Saturn was in Pisces was in 1993. And at that point I was 8 years old. So did you see what I mean? Like, I love it. The cycles and patterns, really interesting. And then finally, for your home and environment, this is you changing something about the home. And with that Lovers card, this is you potentially saying, okay, you know what, if I'm here, then I'm going to make sure I'm here, and I'm going to do something significant about here. So you could be doing all kinds of things with your home. Okay, finally, let's have a look at your cross purposes. If there is anything getting in the way of this, or should I say with the challenges that came up, where are they coming from? Where might these be showing up that we probably need to be aware of now, so that they don't get in the way or work at cross purposes to the things we're trying to do? Sometimes those cross purposes are internal, right? Sometimes it's us getting in our own way. Sometimes it's an external energy or factor. Okay, so your cross-purpose energies are those of the Hermit. My dear Aquarius, and I'm speaking to myself here as well, right? I spent all this time talking about how we are the loners of the zodiac, and we are the aliens of the zodiac, and we're outside the group even though we're a part of it. That Hermit card basically says you're not on your own, and the more you try to do it or be on your own, the harder it's going to be, and the slower it's all going to move. And then with this, look at that, right? You've got the 9 of Pentacles. The Hermit card is number 9. The 9 of Pentacles is the number 9. And you've got this here. More stuff is not going to cut it, all right? It's not a case of needing more. It's about needing quality, all right? Quality over quantity is what's going to clinch it. That being said, that 2 9s represents receipt. And so the thing that I really want to say to you here is, go back over the memory banks and look into all the times that you were successful because you had help from other people, or you had support and you were open to it. That is the message this week. Like, if you try to, or this fortnight, if you try to go it alone, that's where it's going to be really hard. Whereas if you just kind of say, okay, you know what, I've got support, I've got my people, and I'm going to tap into them, that's where things will really start to move. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic fortnight. Let me know in the comments. Do you love it? Do you loathe it? Take care, and I'll see you soon.